Pecha Kucha 66 second draft artwork. So it's the end of the year, and as I tentatively think about what I'm going to do going forward, this week I had a little look at some old artwork and sought to improve it in subtle ways. And the first thing I did in the week, because it's my new Steam profile picture, is I coloured in the M. Bison reveal from the comic I showed last week, the Etna comic. And I very slyly used his Bison's second character costume palette for the background colours, but enough about that. So my Moby Dick straight high quality line work, I decided to Google it, and Mario Cluza showed me some stuff in Manga Studio about using the curved line tool. You create a straight line and then you can bend it in the middle so you get a smooth line. And I thought I'd go back to my picture of Optimus Prime, which was originally done using spray paint brushes. So it's all very diffuse. I kind of went back in on his helmet prior using like black and on with the spray paint, but there's quite a lot of ill-defined sections. So I used the curve tool, but it can't quite match the inaccuracy of the shapes that I have, because you only get one bend per line. And I just came in with the lasso ink because I'm like, you know what, screw this, let's just add some black. And then I kind of just moved on. I think the curve tool is a great kind of middle ground, but it's not quite what I want. So this is a version where I changed the spray paint brush I used to the hard mode instead of the soft mode. So it's kind of, it gives me much tighter line work, but it's still quite diffuse, which I think is an interesting middle place to be. And I found this excellent picture of Monkey that looks like it could have been lino cut, which it probably isn't, and I just kind of tried to detox, so I just made a mess using like a no pressure ink pen in Manga Studio and focused on the face. It was quite fun. I was listening to Samurai Warriors music and thought I'd draw Nobunaga going nuts in Hanaji as Mitsuhide comes to kill him, but I didn't want him to look this nuts. I kind of overdid it because, like, drawing facial expressions for Nobunaga is an art. You need to combine subtlety with madness. So I used that as the underdrawing, and then I just tried to kind of calm everything down while adding details. So this is an example of one of these second draft things I'm talking about this week. So just calming it down a bit and being a bit more aware of where everything was, it kind of really let me tighten up everything. You know, I've put in the fire and I've added these fire colors. Lighting in the middle of a burning room is not something that I'd say I'm an expert on, but I'm pretty sure if you just you make everything the right colors, the brain will do the rest. Like how you would actually light a katana is beyond me. Yeah, I'm going to have to link this in the description. Me and the Mystic Moor recorded a 3-hour podcast, a la the Joe Rogan show. We're talking video games, we're talking, you know, all kinds of random stuff. We're literally having a conversation and we're recording it. And it's more entertaining than you'd think, just like the Joe Rogan experience. You know, who does Joe Rogan talk to? His friends, MMA people, comedians. He's branched out to you know, famous people as well. But you know, it's like you're just enjoying a conversation. You're not there, but you kind of are. So here's an old picture of Venom that I was like going to experiment with painting, and I just forgot to come back to it until this week. You know, Venom's just jumped on the car. He's coming to frame, and Spider-Man's like, oh, here we go. And I just thought, you know, I'm not really happy with the coloring, of course, but the pose isn't crazy enough. So I kind of redrew it, and again I used the original art as an underdrawing. So I kind of have Venom leaning decidedly more forward now, and Spider-Man is much closer to him as well. I think I always intended to get more of Spider-Man into the picture, but I just, you know, I didn't scale it right. And I used a muted color scheme for the background with the first image, which I just didn't think was going to work. I haven't like done Spider-Man's webbing design, but I think it's pretty obvious to say I'm hardly finished. But putting them side to side, I think the second draft has a lot more. Well, urgency is not maybe not the right word, but it's a lot less static, and it feels a lot more like Spider-Man's in trouble, and Venom's here for bad things. And yeah, I guess it must have been Christmas because yeah, Team Four Star actually did some parodies that weren't that Final Fantasy thing I don't watch. So the first one I got to see was they've done another Christmas one. And spoiler alert, the bad guy is Santa, and in their dub it is. And the second Christmas present from Team Four Star is another Hellsing Abridged. They literally do one of these a year, but somehow having only done like what 8, they've got like right to the end of the show. I don't know how big the show is. I wikied it, so that's how I know how close to the end they are. But yeah, super entertaining. And steamed hams, this week's steamed hams, there is only Skinner in this cut. He has schizophrenia. He responds like Chalmers is there, but Chalmers has been edited out of the entire thing. It's incredibly disturbing and very hilarious, just how I like my comedy. So yeah, what do I do next year? I really do think the best thing for January is to just kind of publish stuff, and the Smiley Show should be the priority thing to publish. Give it a home, set up a Patreon, get people interested, make it scheduled, win-win-win. And I do like the idea of improving my focus on learning things by making like either Pecha Kuchas every once in a while specifically about, say, hands, for example, or doing extra ones and maybe making them a different format. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is to provide an information source that I can come back to in the future and be like, oh yeah, I forgot this because I I was playing too much Total War Warhammer 3. Now I remember how to do that thing again. Let's go forward. So that brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 66, and I will see you next time.